welcome back to Comic Conquest, last episode of Loki
Season finale.
for this season one.
Yeah, baby.
BRP, Burp, Loki episode 6. Let's talk
For
about
for all time, always.
it. Our episode starts off with um, we get the Marvel Studios with
Yeah.
audio this time, huh?
Yeah, that was wild. We go through like a really trippy. I forget exactly what it is, but it's like going through all this stuff. And I was wondering, I was questioning what the song was that was playing behind it, and it took me a second until I realized that it was Cap and Peggy's song from the end of Endgame
Yeah, yeah,
when they're dancing.
yeah. As
Yeah,
we see what is, I assume, like the timeline, like in total, like we see
yeah.
like the formation and we see the timeline around the Citadel, which we find out
Yeah,
is
we
more,
also hear a bunch of quotes and music and stuff that comes from every
yeah,
single movie. So,
um, yeah,
there's-
and we come to our Lokis
yep. So they're
taking a moment.
walking on in, or yeah, they're taking a moment, collecting themselves, and then they walk on into the Citadel, which is the big old mansion house from last episode. And
Yeah,
then Miss Minute does a jump scare.
yeah. Well, Miss Minutes jump scare. Miss Minutes this episode very ominous.
Mm-hmm. It actually didn't scare me because at that moment I had looked down to write my note.
Oh.
So I just see out of the corner of my eye the screen go orange. I'm like, oh, I'm sure that would have been scary.
And her eyes, I'm sure I'll pop up an image, but her eyes were like so wide. I was like, holy, out for
Hello.
blood.
Hello.
Yeah. Uh,
But yeah, so we kind of walking through the mansion. Miss Minutes is like, oh, he's very impressed with you. He's very impressed. He could give you anything and everything you've ever wanted. It's gonna be wild, guys.
he who remains.
Yeah, He Who Remains. It's pretty dope title, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, Miss Miss is trying to convince our Loki. Yeah, he might put you in the timeline and you have everything you want. New York, W. Thor the Dark World won't happen.
Also a W.
Thanos
Sil-
dead.
Sylvie's there with you? W.
Yeah, W.
You want a
Um,
W? I've got it. I'll write the check right now. W.
W. And they're kind of like, fuck off, huh?
They're
How
like,
about that?
haha. They're like, yeah. No, I hear you. But no. So, we see a little twist of Loki's character where he's not worried about the throne anymore.
Yeah, let's emphasize this episode too. And she disappears and goes back to we see the TVA again.
Ravona. Renslayer.
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 She's gearing up to leave. Renslayer is.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of her, but like she's like trying to leave. She gets Miss Minutes hands her a file. We don't know what the file is, so there's that unanswered question.
And it's not. We also they do confirm it's not about he who
Yeah,
remains because
yeah,
that's what Miss Minutes said. She says, "Here's a file that he thinks you would like more."
yeah,
So a little cliffhanger maybe for season 2, huh?
yeah. No, there's definitely a cliffhanger right there. But from there we cut back to the Lokis, and they're walking through, and we see the three statues of the timekeepers. But what's really odd is that there was a fourth one that's
For
all
and it's
destroyed,
destroyed. Yep.
which kind of makes me think that that is He Who Remains or whatever. I don't know. I feel like there's more to the timekeepers. Maybe they were real and
At one
now
point,
they're dead. Yeah. So
I was also thinking maybe he's not the first one to go to the Citadel, but that's more of a predictions thing,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we're always jumping the gun on that.
But anyway, I thought that was an interesting detail, and that's when at that point they're in that room with all the statues and stuff, and the elevator door opens, And there we get a first look at He Who Remains.
And he's played by Jonathan Majors, I believe his name is, and I'm gonna fact
Yeah.
check that so I don't sound
Yeah.
dumb. Everybody kind of confirmed who he's playing in a different movie coming up.
Yep. So I mean, I still liked it. This is kind of different from the other Marvel endings, the series endings, in which it's not really a big fight. You know, there's not like. I mean, there is.
It's not a
But
major. There's no. He's not really a major villain this whole time. Also,
yeah.
um,
But
so
yeah.
of course Loki's are hesitant to get in the elevator with him,
But
but
they do.
he just says he wants to talk. That's it.
So and they do go and talk, and it's pretty wild how he knows everything, and we get this discussion of is life
Well,
predetermined and
before that though,
oh yeah.
we see in the elevator, they both got their swords out, just like ready. And this whole episode, we kind of see Sylvie, and this whole series really, she's always jumping the gun like us on predictions, and she takes a swing at him.
Yeah. And he is flesh and blood. He says that himself. So it's not like he's an omnipotent time god. He's a dude with time.
Loki says it too. He's just like, you're just a dude.
What's up with these dudes?
Just a dude, bruh.
But they go to his office, they have a talk, you're right. He knows everything. And he pulls out like dialogue sheets as we've seen before from the TVA.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was legitimately just like the script. Like, this is today's script. Don't worry, this is also the prop.
Yeah, and they have a good long chat
It breaks before they get into the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we go find Mobius, and Mobius walks in like an utter stud, like just a stud. Comes in, he's just like,
Mobius. I would say he's winning this episode, but you don't see him on a jet ski, so he really doesn't.
Does he really win? No.
Yeah. But he's coming into Renslayer's office and is just like, checkmate.
We've got to tell everybody about the TVA, that they're all variants.
Wow.
No.
And Renslayer's just like, no. D20 or something, I think she says.
Like D29 or whatever. It doesn't matter.
She calls in some random hunter, and he's like, about that.
About that. And
we see a scene of B-15.
She's escaped.
She is on the run, and we're in 2018 at some school in Ohio.
Hey,
Black Widow. No, we're just in Ohio, 2018, and we see her getting chased, and the big reveal. They're all variants, of course. We already knew
variants, but how is that discovered? They walk into a principal's office, right? B-15, right? B-15.
B-15, yeah, is like, wait 1 second.
She's there. Some other hunter's like, what are you doing? Come on, we gotta get you back. And they're in the principal's office. And who is the principal?
Judge Renslayer,
it's
Ramona
the judge.
Renslayer.
Plot twist, Ravona, whatever, was the principal. No wonder she's annoying. Bullshit.
I don't know, like, the TVA is so massive, I don't know how they instantly let everybody know that this is what's happening, or how everybody believes them.
They all have Twitter, and they got the tweet, they're like, dude!
Yeah. But it's revealed. And the TVA is no longer on our side.
Yeah, so... Yeah, and then we go back to... whatchamacallit, the Lokis. Yeah, so we go back there. We're talking about if life's predetermined. We're getting more of that. And we kind of learn about He Who Remains. Now, we never actually get his name.
We never get an official name, but
we don't hear that it's Nathaniel Richards Esquire, the third, whatever. I don't remember his name. It's just fancy, or not even King. So it's just He Who Remains.
He Who Remains But there is a scene where Sylvie asks him, like, what are you? Like, who are you? He goes, I've been called many things. He's an emperor.
One
And you
second.
see him emphasize the conqueror. Of course. Jonathan Mayer's playing Kang. And we get an outfit. We get some other stuff later. But anyways, he's talking about how he lived on Earth once. And he's been alive since a long time. He's been living out at the Citadel.
Yeah.
And he reveals kind of his backstory. He's of
A
course
31st century scientist or
Yeah.
inventor, or yeah, I don't know. He makes stuff, and he discovered that
31st century scientist.
yeah,
His
discovered-
universe had other universes layered on top of it.
Yeah, so the multiverse, pretty much.
And also during the scene, he has like his watch that he's like,
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that he has very similar to the Avengers Endgame thing, where
Like,
and
yeah, the
where it's
time watch.
positioned, it's on his left hand, and it's got two straps, and it's very visually.
yeah, similar.
Or not visually, because it's more advanced. It's got this like marble gold inlaid, which actually looks really sick.
But it's obviously like a similar design, sort of.
Sylvie refers to it as a tempad at one point.
So he's doing. He discovered the multiverse, and he literally calls it the multiverse at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that he at a point was going to other universes, talking to versions of himself, and they were sharing research and helping other universes grow. But he then says that they discovered versions of thousands versions of him that were not as pure of heart.
Yeah, so basically
And-
the evil doppelganger situation breaks out, and that devolves into the multiversal war. And then that's when Sylvie says, oh, so that's when the timekeepers step in. Wrong. Timekeepers did not. It turns, I don't remember exactly how he said it, but I think he won, is basically what it
So
comes down
he
to.
says the war was going on so long that there was a hole in the fabric of space, time, and the multiverse.
Oh
and
yeah,
he
from all
saw-
the activity.
Yeah, and he saw Goliath, and he tamed Goliath and weaponized Goliath because he's mad scientist.
Experimented on
ends-
it.
Yeah, he ends the war by
Obliterating.
murdering them all with Goliath.
Literally obliterating multiverses. So
Yeah.
like he's kind of a villain in that way, but he says he had to do it.
He owns up to it. He calls himself a villain this episode.
The devil, he refers to him, so Mephisto confirmed.
Mephisto confirmed.
Mephisto! You can see it behind him. Mephisto was massaging his shoulders. It was wild. But
So he tells them that he cleaned up the timeline and he made the sacred timeline, but there was only one issue: is that branches kept emerging from the original timeline. So he set up the TVA to monitor those branches.
And he tells Sylvie and Loki, like, you could kill me, of course. I'm tired. I'm ready to be done.
Yeah,
pretty much.
he gives them two options, really.
Yeah.
And
Well, kind of three if you think about it. There's three options, slightly. Two very similar. One is they do nothing. They let him be, and he continues being part of the TVA, and the sacred timeline continues.
yeah, and well, that's like unspoken, but
Yeah.
the two really alternatives that he gives them is that he says you could kill me, and the free will of the timeline will emerge, but just let it be known that millions and hundreds of thousands of me will come back, and he also says, like, once you remove the dictator, you don't know what will emerge.
Yeah. And also, this option puts him back as he who remains. So it's just a loop.
Yeah, and he says eventually it's a cycle, and I'll just come back here, and we'll act like this never happened. Or option two, they let him like peace out and retire or whatever, and they rule the TVA. him and Loki and Sylvie together. And some people don't like certain options there.
Let's just say Sylvie only has one option, and she wants that option, which is the stabby option.
Yeah, Sylvie only heard blood, murder, murder. And Loki, of course, she gets up and she's like, and
Yeah.
Loki is like, yo, chill. And she's like, I don't want to chill. So we have actually a pretty well choreographed fight and a really great use of like
camera work.
Some of the like smaller powers that they have.
Yeah.
They're both nerfed compared to retro Loki, but
yeah. Just throwing stuff around, really. The Force.
We get a fight.
Star Wars confirmed.
We get a fight, and it kind of ends up at this point where Loki's kind of like, so this whole time Sylvie's like, you just want to do this because you want to rule, you dumb bitch. I hate you. I hate you.
He's a liar.
Yeah, and Loki's like, I don't think he's lying, and if he's telling the truth, we're getting screwed if we kill him. Yeah. Of course, Sylvie doesn't listen. And Loki kind of throws down his weapon. We get a scene where he like vanishes and he reappears, blade at neck.
The only thing he wants is not the throne. He just wants her to be okay. That's all he wants.
And
he is a simp.
She's like, he bigs him. Loki bigs him. And Sylvie gives him a little
smoochy.
Loki on Loki smooch.
Smoochy.
Smooch.
And then she chucks him back to the TVA.
See, well, I got a theory about that. But yes, she chucks him back to the TVA. And also before this, when all this stuff starts to happen, we see the He Who Remains is like, I don't know what's gonna happen anymore. He just
they pass a threshold of unpredictability.
They pass the red line that we've seen since episode 1, and he's like, it's not up to me anymore. I was lying to you. I actually at a certain point I knew what you were gonna say, but past this I don't.
Yeah,
and
that's when we start to see the Sacred Timeline branch. Very little, but
literally right behind him, the timeline outside is just branching. Fucking going nuts. And so Sylvie uses the tempad or the wristwatch or whatever to send Loki away.
Yeah.
And then it's just her and good old He Who Remains.
Let's just say he did not remain much longer.
Yeah.
He remains no more.
He remains no more. And she's just like
one solid stab. He doesn't cry out. He doesn't beg. All he says, "See you soon."
Pretty ominous.
Dude, he's pieces out.
Yeah. Jonathan Majors, I gotta give it to him. You see his character go through such a range of emotion through this whole scene where he knows he's in power here. Like he plays it so well where he's like trying to have fun with them, but he's like, I'm here to win.
Yeah.
Like it means nothing to him.
He is the winner at the end of this. And so yeah. At that point, the multiverse is reborn.
Yeah, we see the timeline outside. Literally, it's just going nuts.
Branch. It's a multiverse of madness at this point.
And
someone was so. Did you hear that?
Someone
horn?
liked that. Someone liked it.
Someone was stoked.
Shout to the audience, live audience.
Let's go.
And Sylvie, we also see Sylvie like kind of break down to the ground, like. I think I almost thought maybe she saw what's happening outside and was like,
oh,
maybe I messed up a little. But we come back to Loki.
Says
Loki is just broken, dude. Big sad Loki again this episode.
She said she loved him like a brother. That's what that face was.
Dude, he literally is just sitting there just dead inside, just like, Anyway,
But my boy picks himself up again and starts running through the TV.
He's moving, bro.
He's going to find his homie, and they're gonna have a jet ski to calm themselves down, and then come up with a plan to fix the multiverse. But
and he finally, after 5 minutes of running through a great shot of the TVA, he gets to B-15 and Mobius, and he's like, explains what happened.
We messed up.
Yeah, and he says, the guy we saw, he's coming here right now. Million. Yeah, and he says they're more powerful than you could ever imagine.
We need to prepare for this.
And Mobius doesn't remember.
Mobius takes the L in this one. He does.
He goes, "What department are you from? I slow down. Who are you? What department are you from? What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And
depression.
Loki, big sad again.
And that's when we take a big pan to the big corridor, hallway, elevator thing.
With the giant elevator.
Where there were 3 statues of the timekeepers, but now has only been replaced by what we can only assume is Kang.
Kang. In his outfit. But
very
no helmet.
accurate. No helmet, but he's got the
outfit.
Stupid like Thanos stripe going down. It's odd how similar their costumes are.
It's pretty ominous, the ending, and the music. The music this whole episode is so
it's
great.
phenomenal. Like
it's phenomenal.
Loki.
The suspense building, and Loki this whole time. I mean, they do what they're doing so well. And then we get a little post credits thing, sort of.
Looks like it was thrown together in like 3 minutes in Blender. But we get a cheesy Loki Laufeyson case file thing. And a big old stamp comes down that says Loki will return in season 2. So we're not done with our boy Loki.
Tom Hiddleston returns. I think he'll probably show up in Multiverse of Madness.
For like 5 seconds or something. I don't know.
I'm sure,
probably gets a cameo.
But Doctor Strange is probably rolling over right now. He just woke up and is just sweating.
Yeah, he wakes up and he's like, let me just check the universe.
Oh, shit.
What?
But we'll get to the review of this. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, review. So, at this point, we're just gonna put everything together.
Scale.
Okay.
And
that's right, the scale.
I'll add Mobius and Loki to the scale.
Mobius and Loki. I think they sit at a solid, I don't know, wherever Scarlet Witch and Vision are. They're like right there next to them.
Scarlet Witch and Vision are like 8, 9. We're putting. You think Loki?
I think it's ahead of them. So
I put him ahead too. I love WandaVision.
Yeah, so do I.
But this show,
kind of had it all.
The impact on the MCU is going to be huge. They have some great. Not much needs to be said. If you watch mystery, the show, you know.
Had the action, had the down moments that where Falcon and Winter Soldier had the down moments, and the action. WandaVision had the mystery. This one takes it all and like puts it together, and
wraps it up.
Of course, you get more Loki. Who doesn't like Loki? Everybody loves Loki. You get more Lokis. Actually, we get more than one Loki. So simple math. Multiple Loki equals happiness. So
yeah.
I don't know what more you want.
It's basic math. Basic arithmetic.
Basic math. So.
But we'll move to the
theory time.
Predictions and theories of this video. There's going to be quite a few things to talk about, and
yeah. So I did check IMDb.
Okay.
I checked IMDb just so I'm not like, is this the same guy who's going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? It is. So it's the same guy, Jonathan Majors, as we've established. Same guy. Clearly going to be Kang. at this point.
Clearly Kang. Big
If
Kang.
if it's not Kang and it's like actually this is this guy, we'd be like, what?
It's Kang. It's basically confirmed at this point. It's Kang. And also, by the way, he did an interview where, like, for a different movie or a TV show or something, where people were like,
Are you
"Wouldn't
in
that
this?
be cool if you're in Loki?" And then he was like, "What the fuck's Loki?"
Yeah, he's denying. Yeah.
Which was great, but he plays that role so great. And my theory for this is that when Sylvie, so you start to see the timeline branch a little bit when Sylvie's fighting Loki.
If you need to imagine it, just think of the roots of a tree in a big old circle.
I think that she sent him to a completely different universe.
A different TVA? Ooh.
I think they're in I think he got sent to a different TVA.
TVA that was run by. Ooh, that's interesting.
Which would be cool. Or maybe he was in the TVA, and since the timeline's growing and changing as he's there, it changes because the TVA doesn't fit in the normal reality of space and time. But I think he might be in a different universe entirely.
It's a pretty good theory. We'll have to see on that. I mean, I don't have anything to build off of it since it's pretty solid.
Yeah, you can't really go off.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like this heavily is going to be totally brought up in the next couple of movies, not Shang-Chi, of course, because I almost feel like they're going to do a Black Widow scenario there. But I definitely feel like with new images of Spider-Man coming out from my boy Hot Toys coming in clutch there, we see a little bit more of the gold suit that has magic abilities. I definitely feel like there's some kind of magical madness, multiversal stuff that's going on.
And also, we get just like for a Spider-Man video, you also see more of that design you're talking about, where it really does look more like a stripped down.
It is. I'm willing to bet money on this that it is like, oh, we need more conductivity for for the magic. But yeah, I mean, Renslayer, I feel like she's gonna go find the Kang. I feel like
I think she'll find the villain Kang, like because this version of Kang that we had that was like kind of jokey and playful. I don't think we're gonna get that anymore. I think we're getting.
He's definitely the messenger.
Yeah, we're definitely getting big boy evil Kang.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Actually, this reminded me of something that I was thinking. I think that we're gonna get big boy Kang, and his thing is like he remembers the multiversal war, right? And he's like, I know how to defeat this, I know how to end it, and he does. And then he defeats all of his other selves, but he wants all the timelines for himself to rule over all of existence. So he keeps it, and he's just going through timelines and stuff, and that's where we find him in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium. It's like he's like, I need to harness some quantum energy or something because my time machine's damaged. I don't know, something like that.
Like Ant-Man, Ant-Man might be in the quantum realm, like doing research, and you think he might see Kang or something.
Yeah,
trying
Kang's using the quantum
zone
to go through. But I just feel like this Kang is gonna be like, I already killed all the other Kangs. I am He Who Remains.
That's a good one. I think we'll see. I really do think we'll see Loki in Multiverse of Madness. I think he might play a bigger role than we think.
Yeah.
But the Ant-Man and Wasp thing, I really don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so weird. We also get a thing from He Who Remains, Jonathan Mayers, Kang the Conqueror, whoever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
He says, if you kill me, another multiversal war will happen. Of course. And maybe that's... A lot of people are saying Secret Wars, Avengers movie, Avengers Secret Wars.
But I don't know why you would give Secret Wars to something that isn't Secret War. Because that's a Skrull story.
Yeah, but it's like a heroes fight other heroes and...
Okay, yeah.
Multiverse thing. And also we get Miles in that. That'd be cool if that's how they brought in Miles.
I'd be pretty down for that.
But that'd be so far down the line. I don't know when that would even happen. That's like our next Infinity War. Like that movie would be so big. It'd be the next Infinity War, the next Endgame.
Yeah. Wait.
Um,
Oh, I'm thinking of Secret Invasion.
you're thinking of Secret Invasion. Secret Wars, no Skull. So
Too many secret
that'd be
things.
sick. Also, I think Shang-Chi now is gonna suffer from the like Ant-Man and Wasp uh
I don't know. I feel like it'll be able to stand
issue.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be able to stand alone, especially if they go like this is like 2021 during the blip, not blimp.
Yeah, they say so. Yeah, but it's definitely gonna have some pushback now. But if they set up, I think Shang-Chi will be great if they also set up a little more of that Dark Avengers.
Yeah,
We keep moving that story forward, but this is not a Shang-Chi video.
but
It's
yeah, that's
really,
all I got.
It's really about it. Season 2. It's gonna be great.
I'm excited. So I'd just like to thank everybody for tuning in for these 6 episodes. It's been really fun delving into this. We will return
We're
for
back
other
next week.
things. We'll be back next week. Hopefully.
Little Spider-Man video, maybe.
We'll be doing some other stuff. And remember, for all time,
Always.